Good morning, afternoon, evening, and welcome to the second episode of Behind the Screens. I have a very special guest today, and would you mind sharing about yourself today?
Hello everyone, I am Kimi Toru. I am a streamer on Twitch and I just stream a lot of games.
Hmm. What kind of games do you primarily play?
Well, for mostly I play more competitive games like Apex Legends, Valorant, League of Legends, but I do love the occasional casual playing of Left 4 Dead 2, Pikmin 4, even Splatoon 3 if it doesn't make me mad if by disconnecting me from lobbies.
Oh, I see. So you kind of have like you're a variety streamer in a way.
Yes. Totally stream a lot of games. Just don't look at my history right now.
So I guess my question for you is, how long have you been, streaming?
I have been streaming for over 2 years now. Started in August of 2021. Had my first anniversary affiliate on August 2022. And I have missed my own second anniversary this past year. So I gotta do something for that.
So it took you about a year to get into Twitch's affiliate program.
Actually, no, it took me less than a month
Oh.
because I streamed a lot, and I guess at that time I did make a very scuff model, but I had a lot of people who enjoyed my content and also people who played with me, and it was Apex Legends, so Apex.
Hmm.
I still suck at it.
I guess. Well, I think a lot of people watch people just because they enjoy like the content creator, right? It's not just for skill, right?
Yeah, I do like. I still watch some people on YouTube, even though they're not doing video games anymore. I just generally like their content. It's just very fun to watch them grow.
Hmm.
So yeah.
I guess moving into content. What are some of your favorite streams you've done?
Okay, I think one of my favorite streams were actually my Pokemon series of Brilliant Diamond. I think that series in general was just amazing just because it was a first time playthrough and getting to know what my friend's favorite or first Pokemon game was. It was actually pretty fun, and plus with the how this game actually became like a lot more difficult. So when completing the game, I actually felt very satisfied how I was able to finish the game, even though I had like one Pokemon left against the champion, and I was very afraid I was gonna lose. But I made it, so yeah, that was a very fun time.
I see. Um, I guess have you gone back to Pokemon after that, or has it just been kind of on and off with Pokemon?
Well, so far with Pokemon, it's kind of on and off. I still have a lot of content I could make from Pokemon just because I didn't finish the recent series, especially with my Arceus run through. I still haven't finished the game,
Hmm.
so I can still stream that. And Scarlet, I still didn't finish that, and plus it was DLC. And I think I had like DLC for Sword and Shield, but I never actually played through it. So I also had to finish that game.
Yeah. The DLC for Scarlet and Violet, I think the second part comes out in December now. So I think you got some time.
I still haven't even gotten the first DLC, so I need to play through that.
All right. I guess my next question would be, why did you decide to stream in the first place?
this had a lot of combination between a lot of my friends starting streaming, like example you and Micah. You guys started streaming, then I'm like, I want to join the bandwagon, but I didn't want to show myself. So I had took inspiration from these virtual YouTubers that were rising in popularity. Then I think it would have been fun to become a VTuber. So that's how I decided to make my own model. I was very passionate about it. My first model was Scuff. Then I was like, okay. And after a few months in, I was like, I'm ready to make my new one. And I think that was very successful. Plus, that was also the start of my Brilliant Diamond series. So, yeah, I wish I saved the VODs for them.
Mm. I I don't remember, when did you debut your first like model besides the, you know, the PNG, I believe.
I first debuted it in September. It wasn't like one of those nice looking debuts. It was just like a random stream pops up. Uh, However, this my first model wasn't my first model. Well, for my debut it was, but I did create a previous model for testing, just to get my hands-on experience with the program that I'm supposed to use. And with that, I think growing as a VTuber was quite fun. And with the experience I made, I think I'm currently creating a new model, which I don't know when I'm gonna finish, just because busy with school and stuff and streaming. So yeah,
Oh yeah, that's right. You've made your own models. That's right. You didn't commission anyone else to. You made it yourself. How
yeah,
was that for you?
yeah. Making models is very difficult in an art perspective for me. And with that perspective, I did learn a bit how to draw more better, but the other fact is being able to rig them together was also another difficult part, because you need to cut these your art into pieces to actually make them to blend with each other, so they won't just look like a normal 2D drawing. It looks like a more, well, of course, live 2D is what they call it,
Yeah.
two-dimensional. So yeah, uh, these models were mm, very, very simple, but also like difficult in a way, just because all the pieces I had to make. Like for an eye, there's like at least 6 or 10 pieces you actually have to separate for that to actually have a proper animation.
For your
I mean, you
eyes.
can do, yes, just for my eyes,
Wow.
because you need your top eyelash, your bottom eyelash, side eyelash. Then you need your white eye, then your pupil, then you got your eye highlights. But then you also have your other things that's outside, so like your, I forgot what is it called. Shoots. It was something with the top side of your eye, but forgot about it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna come soon, but yeah, there's just so many parts to separate.
I remember you talking about like, I would remember you would work on it and like in day, like for days, and I was just watching you. I'm like, wow, that's it's amazing. You can just, you know, it's very accessible, right, online or like through software, right?
Yeah, there's a free software that, of course, you can pay premium for to get more things for it, but the free software itself is still pretty good. But there's also a lot of people who post tutorials on how to make these models, and I took inspiration from these people. That's how I got these models made more better. Like the talking movement, like for example, the mouth. instead of like doing a simple mouth movement where I'm just like ma, it's just it actually has like vowels to it, so it was like very difficult looking that I need to incorporate all these vowels into this one singular animation just for the mouth. Then not only that, you actually have to adjust it depending on where you're looking. So if I'm looking left, I have to adjust that. Looking right, I have to do that, and then up and down. It was just very, very difficult. So I think I'm just gonna go stick with the normal basic mouth movement for my next model, just because too much work for me.
So and like not even well, just besides making your own model, rigging, right? You have to rig the model, and to get that to work in itself is really hard, right?
Yes, the rigging itself is just very difficult because not only do you have to look in like the smallest details, you just have to make sure in the bigger picture that your whole model works in general. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but I forgot to rig my ears on this model. So, like at certain points, if I look too far right or too far left, you can see my ears detached from my body.
We'll fix
It's very difficult.
it. That's good. That's good. And I guess moving on. Talk about your community. Um, what would you say on a good day, whether recently or just um, at you know when you were streaming consistently? What was your average viewership?
I think a good day was like averagely between 5 and 10. That's I think it was a very good day for me. I did build a very strong community back when I was streaming consistently. Just recent times is just I've been so busy with school that I haven't had time to stream. So I'm trying to get back into streaming as I am finishing up my schooling. And with this, I think I'm gonna stream more consistently. Like I think starting tomorrow, I have signed up for the Genshin streaming event again, so I could get those extra promos when then for the next banner I pull for. So yeah, I love this community though.
It's good to hear. I think following that, as you've built up your own community, I think you've mentioned before to me like you had many friends that you've made while you've been streaming. Besides, as you mentioned, me and Micah.
Ah yes, I have made I have made a lot of friends, especially one of my friends I have that I have recently I've met during my first year of streaming, which was Rissa 2D. She was when I met her, she was a very beginner streamer. She was had like less than 50 followers, but I helped her with streams sometimes, and I became her moderator from time to time. And we grew exponentially as friends, both in Twitch and our friend count. And as we kept streaming, we got even more people, and I've been introduced to some of her friends. And I think this is having this huge community where all these people can get together and just help each other out was just amazing. However, this did not stop here. I also gained other friends from a different community through a random Twitch thing just recommending me this person. So I started watching their stream. I joined them, became friends, and as we became more friends, we got even a lot more people. I've been able to play with these people even more because we have a lot of interests together. I mean, I do have interest with Risa, but I think it's just because I love playing Apex more. I tend to play with these people more just because Apex Legends is one of my main games I play and stream. Just because I did sunk in over 2,000 hours into that game, and even though I didn't spend that much money into it, I think I put in a lot of time into it, and I just want to keep going with it.
Yeah.
However, there are still I also have even more friends. Like one of these friends that I have called Seiichi, and he is such a gambler. Like in the sense of like creating content for a large group of people. Because recently, there were I think 2 or 3 events so far where he got at least 30 plus people for an Apex event, and it was just the most amazing thing I ever been able to participate in. Not only I am meeting like new people and all these other people who are just also very friendly, they're also very VTubers. It's just having this opportunity to be able to create content with a lot of other streamers and helping each other grow was just fantastic. And plus it was Apex, so I get to like experience like more skill diversity from other players. And yeah, this whole thing was just amazing to be a part of. And I am still waiting for the next one, which he did postpone because of something happening. But uh, if it ever does happen, I would very much be streaming that live on Twitch, and I'll make sure to post it on my socials just to get other people to join. It's very fun. You should watch.
All right. Looking forward to that later on. Apex, right?
Yes, Apex.
Got it. Would you say that, I guess, would you say that VTubing is its whole other like subculture in streaming itself and in content creation, I guess?
I'd say it is in a way. I think it's just because the opportunity of having a voice crack, but having an opportunity of this having a anime styled or whatever style of model you want, whether it be 3D, PNG, live 2D, having an appeal of playing a character like this or being able to just do whatever you want with it is more appealing for people just to come by and just chill. I mean, no disregard to those with using real life cameras, just doing that. I think it's just much more easier to convey or join people with this mask on their face, just because I don't think that VTubers are just gonna essentially judge you just because of that, and you won't be able to judge them in a very harsh way like how others do. But I think VTubing in general is just a different way of streaming now. It seemed like before, like it was just another way just to be a content creator, just doing normal things. But I think with how VTubers are going, how far they're going now, it's just become a new subgenre of streaming now.
All right. Learn a little more about the community within VTubing every day. I think VTubing is very interesting, and I think it allowed for more people to, I think, approach the content creation like easier, like approaching Twitch and live streaming, right? I think people were like scared of showing their face or whatever, but I think that was the open, like the door opening for them, right? Was VTubing.
Yeah, this is what I think. Yeah, one of my friends Visa today was kind of talked about was just streaming like this is like streaming anonymously because you're not showing your face, you won't be judged because of that. So I think this being able to stream with anonymously like this is just able to make more people just be more forward instead of like hiding their true selves. They're able to show them to the world without being judged. And that's why I also do it.
That's good. That's good. Okay, and I think the big question that I have for everybody that comes onto this podcast is, if not for content creation, would the entirety of gaming be where it is now?
Of course not. Okay, so wait, gaming in general is like, yeah, it's okay. Like how well it was going before, like the influences of social media. But I think social media was just able to push it further beyond its reach. I think like I think a main game I would like say that pushed it to its limits was like League of Legends. If it weren't for content creation, we wouldn't be able to have these huge events about like Worlds, like recently Worlds 2023 is going on, and I'm also watching that because I'm a huge fan of League of Legends competitive scene. But I think without having this industry with a social media being able to back it up, I think it just wouldn't exist at that point. I think another one is like Super Smash Brothers. Like I wouldn't have known its existence of its competitive scene without social media and its creation. Just because I've learned to love the Melee competitive scene. I've learned about the five gods of Melee and learning the new incomers like Zane and having like low tier gods popping up is just it's insane to watch these people grow, and with content creation making the game even better, and with casters, behind the scenes people being able to create these amazing tournaments, which I don't know how I feel about the new Nintendo things about that's going on with tournaments for Melee, but I really love this competitive scene that social media was able to create. But I think the other thing is that I think games wouldn't be able to be pushed to their limits. Like Among Us was one of the games that were social media pushed it to the limits with,
Yeah.
and I don't think we ever would have gotten Holo Live in general in this collab with Among Us, which it was insane for them to do.
Hmm.
Which, of course, I bought the bundle. I knocked out the skins. And I'm like very happy because I did that. Now I'm just like able to show off my Holo Live fan as an Among Us. But yeah, I don't think we would have been able to get these such things just because social media was just a massive influence for content or well gaming in general. Like if I would think that without social media influence or content creation in general for gaming, I would think that it would have just been mainly single player games at this point. It will be mostly single player co-op. There would be no player versus player kind of content or any content with like a massive player base like Guild Wars 2. I forgot the other game I was gonna talk about. Then yeah, like Destiny 2, PSO2, NGS. I don't think these games would have like able to survive without the influence of others trying to get people to play the game. It's
Mm.
because it is free and advertisement for these companies,
Yeah.
and these companies able to get creators to fund them to help advertise their game more, which I think that's amazing. Like Riot does that, Sega does that in a way,
Yep.
and Genshin also does that,
Hmm.
which I am sadly doing because I want those primo gems. But I don't think these games would exist. I don't think we would even have VTubers in general, actually. Like I think when the internet started, it was it wasn't like really popular back then. But I was thinking about Smosh. They
Mhm.
were they were one of the major influencers how people get into content creation, and if they never did that, I don't think we would have been able to get content creation within gaming. Just because with having Smosh being one of the anchors, putting that you can actually earn money off of creating content for others. I don't think we would have been able to get PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, all those amazing people being able to show off these games that were amazing. Like I wouldn't have known one of my favorite series, which is like The Great Garden, uh, Wada no Hara and the Great Blue Sea, and I wouldn't have known them if it weren't for my brother showing them to me from a YouTuber called the Anime Man. I wouldn't have known this game because once I got into this, I'm like, I love this game so much. I played it like I replayed the game so many times. I even restreamed it before I became a VTuber. I
Mm.
restreamed it like several times just because I had fun playing it. I love it, which is also why I'm going into this study of video game design and development so I can create games like that. But then still, it all relates to that sharing of content from other creators. If I wasn't able to do that, then I don't think gaming would have survived
Mm.
as what it was right now.
Right. So like like right those like those RPG Maker games, right? You mentioned Wadanohara and like all these other stuff. It's just like some of the games that I couldn't even like they weren't accessible to me. I wasn't able to like I had my Wii broke and I wasn't able to play like Skyward Sword when it came out and I really wanted to, but and I felt left out of the gaming scene, and so I really I looked it up, like I watched these people play it because I wanted to know what happens, like it was just you're just curious to know more about these other things, and content creation really supported that too, right?
Yeah, with content creation, I think just in general, I have a lot of respect for those who kept going, work at these content creators. Like it's also like other like even with there's like other content creators that also help people like gameplay tutorials, like builds for Genshin Impact, which I follow. But I think with these people being able to create these contents to help make the community even more better, just because we are just a group of people, but without these content creators, that leading us into more theory crafting for these games, or helping us with how to build things and how certain things happen in games. Like if you weren't accessible, what you said, I think one of the games I have never played was Pikmin 2, and I really wanted to play it because I did finish Pikmin 1, but I never really gotten Pikmin 2 because it was already out of date when I got into Pikmin. We got Pikmin 1 for the Wii, but then Pikmin 2 was never remastered into the Wii.
Mhm.
So I had to watch people play them. Like Chugga Conway was one of the biggest people I watched back then, just because there were so many games that I really wanted to play, but I had no access to them because I was just a kid,
Yep.
no money.
Yep.
Parents were strict about it. They're like,
Yep.
don't play games during certain hours. So I would like hide my DS on my under my bed or my pillow, so I could just keep playing games. But I think without these people, I think it was just it just helped gaming mature in a more positive way when I see it.
Yeah, I think like right being able to like have access to these older games from back then, right when we were younger. I think like content creation really like was shining back then because um, as games weren't as like accessible or getting ported and remade onto like newer consoles. Like Earthbound was just like stuck on the SNES for like how long, and then they brought it up. They kept bringing it back up and up and up onto like even now modern consoles, which is crazy. And I've always wanted to play it, and I finally got to when I think I got it on my 3DS back in like 2014, 15, I think. So I think content creation is very, very important to me as well for just gaming in general. But I think with that, I think it's all the time we have for today's episode. Where can they find you?
Well, you can find me at twitch.tv/Kimi underscore Toru. I do have a YouTube, which is Kimi Toru channel, but I don't really post that much there. I also found out that my TikTok was suspended, so you can't find me on TikTok. I don't know how it got suspended, but it got suspended. Well, keep. I used to post things there, but I guess I can't anymore. But yeah, so just mainly Twitch. That's where you can find me.
Twitch.tv, Kimi underscore Toru. Alrighty. Alright, and with that, this is the end of episode 2 of Behind the Screens, and we will see you all later. Bye.
Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good everything. See you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.